Malsis Hall in North Yorkshire is undoubtedly a fine example of a grand Victorian country home, but for the past 90 years it's also been home to generations of youngsters, pupils at the independent boarding school that took over the building in 1920, one fairly recent old boy, none other than the full Monty writer Simon Beaufoy. And it's not only generations of children who've grown up at the school. For estate manager Andrew Greenwood is the latest generation of his family to ensure the hall and school are kept up to standard.
We've got 5 generations of my family have worked here. Obviously not constantly worked here, but my father's worked here 30 years before me, and I'm 32, 33 years this time, so obviously I've helped doing all the jobs around the building and various painting of the ceilings and helping my dad out. It's a marvellous place to work in, super place, 40 acres of lovely grounds, and the building itself it's a treat to come to work. It's not a chore, it's a treat, and we love the place.
These highly decorative ceilings were painted by Andrew's father, and on a visit back to Malsis, he remembered all that hard work.
It's a while since you've seen this ceiling.
Oh, it is. It all fell down and I had to do all this, you know.
Colours still look nice, don't they?
Oh, they still.
Well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
After all these years, it does look good.
Emulsion, I know. When I come into the hall now, because everything's carpeted now, it used to just brown lino, and now it looks so warm and well comforting. I think since I've left, the place has improved. It does look quite nice. And of course, I think these ceilings will stand the test of time. I just wonder now, I won't have the patience now.
What do you think it means to the pupils to be able to see all this?
Well, as you can see, I think it's just a marvellous place for them to come into here. It's not like a school, it's almost like a country house. They almost think it's like Hogwarts of Harry Potter. I get that quite a lot, that. It's just a nice place to work.
And it's top marks from the headmaster, who readily admits they couldn't do without the Greenwoods.
Well, I think in an establishment like this, having someone like Andrew here, who's been here over 30 years, gives a marvellous link with the past. He's really the longest-serving member of staff here, and his father for 20-odd years before him was wonderful. And he's involved in every aspect of the school's life, from sport to academic to eating to the boarding to whatever it may be, because he's at the core of what goes on here. And what he can't turn his hand to is not worth mentioning. It's wonderful to have him on the staff. He is saintly.
So would you be happy to see your son take over the reins one day?
Definitely, obviously. I'd like to see it going on and on and on, and I'd like to think I was going to retire here.
So they think of it as Hogwarts. Does that mean you're Hagrid?
Let's hope not.